We're headed to Unadilla for round 10 of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, and everyone wants to find a way to watch the action because you know when you come to this track, you can expect the unexpected. There's just something in the air or the dirt here in upstate New York that leads to wild moments. But the good news is we've got them all here on your RacerX Motocross show. From big crashes to big jumps to big crowds and even some big-time history in the making, we're going to give you all the highlights and the lowlights. So stay with us here. James Stewart's return to action, combined with a historic day for Red Bull KTM, well, it's going to make for a show and a race day you won't soon forget. Where are we at, Robbie?
What's up? Robbie Marshall. Welcome to Unadilla.
RacerX Motocross show here on AllySports.com. Jason Weigandt going to give you the call. 250 riders highlights will be up first. Now, we did all the bench racing coming into this one and said that the track at Unadilla Valley Sports Center would lend itself to the European riders or the young Americans. Watch this, Zach Bell with a crazy mistake in the first turn, yet somehow able to maintain the whole shot. He's got Blake Baggett, Ken Roczen right behind him. But Roczen would be the rider to watch early. He'd get around Baggett, move up to the number 2 spot. What's that we said about the track? Good for the Euros. Then he would go after Bell, and before he even had to make the pass, Bell would hand it over. Right-hand turn, he turns a little bit too far to the right, and Bell finds himself on the ground. Still, he's led some laps at both of his first pro races. Battle a little bit further back, Bogle on the Geico Honda gets around the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki of Baggett. That's a battle for third because Roczen's in the lead, and yet another European rider, his teammate, Marvin Musquin, on the Red Bull KTM, is second. Baggett would eventually overhaul Bogle to take over third. A little bit further back, we got another rookie making his pro debut. This is Jeremy Martin on the Rockstar Star Valley Yamaha. He was in 7th behind Jason Anderson on the Rockstar Suzuki. And behind them, Zach Bell, who was recovered from his crash. But then Martin goes down also. That would hold up Eli Tomac. And we finally get a glimpse of Justin Barcia, who had not one, not two, but 3 crashes in this moto. Barcia would struggle. He's only able to come back for 7th. Late in the race, waiting for the El Chupacabra charge to come after the KTM riders. And we waited, and it never happened. Finally, Ken Roczen turns all those laps led into a moto win, the first one ever for him in the United States. And yeah, he's pumped. Moto number 2, the Geico Honda boys have to bounce back in this one. Baggett finished 3rd in Moto 1, but still picked up a bunch of points on Barcia and Tomac. So Barcia starts it the right way by getting the whole shot. Zach Bell, that's a bad start by his standards. He was in 2nd early instead of whole shotting this one. Musquin solid in 3rd. There's Justin Bogle, and there's Tomac in 5th. Barcia looked like he was riding angry in this one. 3 bad motos in a row for him. He was pulling away early, he was on the charge, and making the home state New York fans very happy. Bell was pretty solid early in this one as well, but soon the star would become the 17 of Tomac. First, he puts the challenge to Musquin. Great racing between those two for the number 3 position, but eventually Tomac here in this deep rutted section would steal the 3rd place position away. And he wasn't done. He'd soon go after his teammate Bell. Took a couple second gap down to nothing and then would take over the number 2 spot and did it in fine style. Next on Tomac's list is Barcia. Barcia was solid at the beginning of this one, but then he started making a bunch of mistakes in the ruts. Tomac was closing the gap. Meanwhile, Roczen, not the same in this moto, said he had flu-like symptoms. Tomac here takes advantage of a mistake from Barcia to take the lead, and there would be more mistakes from Barcia to come. We're gonna have a little problem here on the left-hand side of this rutted straightaway. And then on the right-hand side of this section, check him, left side of your screen, almost goes down again. Barcia would hold on for 2nd, but there was no stopping Tomac. Musquin's going to go 2-3 to get it, his first ever win in the U.S. Baggett and Barcia actually tie for the day on points, so no change in the championship. Roczen, despite that fluke, on the podium along with Tomac, and a very happy winner. On to the 450 class. Lots of stories here. James Stewart back in action. Michael Alessi trying to stay even with Dungey in points to prevent Ryan from wrapping up the championship. Off the gate in Moto number 1, Michael Byrne going to grab the whole shot on the BTO Sports Butler Brothers Suzuki. This track was gnarly and rutted. A couple of riders went down early, but not Stewart. He would charge from about 4th to the lead. And it looked good for the number 7 until this big crash. He'd pick himself back up, but unfortunately it took him a while to get the bike started. So here goes Byrne taking over the number 1 spot. Then Jake Weimer, the Monster Energy Kawasaki, would attack and take over the lead from Byrne, but then moments later he crashed huge, ending his day with a case of whiplash. So Byrne's back in the #1 spot. Then trouble for Alessi. A rock put a hole in his radiator. He's out. And then Byrne, your leader, catches his leg in a rut, breaks his leg while leading the moto. That leaves Brock Tickle in the #1 spot in the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Behind him, Davey Millsaps and Andrew Short with a great battle going for 3rd and 4th. You had Nico Izzy in the hunt for a while, and eventually Josh Grant would finish in the #5 position. And as time clicked away, Tickle continued to lead. Stewart had crashed it. Weimer had crashed it, and Byrne had gotten hurt. But it looked like Tickle might have the stuff to hold off Dungey down the stretch, but then with 2 laps to go, Dungey pulls up alongside and executes, takes over the lead. Tickle would keep Dungey honest all the way down to the checkered flag. While Stewart had another crash but would pick himself back up to finish 9th. You know Dungey's got this moto win, though, because we did it in slow motion. Moto #2, let's re-rack them. Alessi's got the bike fixed. Stewart is back in action as well. We'll see if they can challenge Dungey this time. Burner, though, unfortunately not in this one after the broken leg. Off the start, it's going to be the Chaparral Honda of Short. Then it's Millsaps, Alessi, Dungey, Stewart, all in contention. All the big hitters up front. This one was definitely fun to watch early. Dungey would get around Short, take over the #1 position. Soon followed by Alessi and Stewart. And they would stay close to Dungey until Stewart in 3rd went down hard. And that would end the Yoshimura Suzuki riders' day. Tough break for Stewart there. And a lot of people would have figured that Dungey would pull away at this point, but no. Alessi rode spectacularly well and kept Dungey honest all the way. Gap was never more than about 5 seconds in this one. And down the stretch, Alessi would actually turn it back up and close back in on Dungey. Behind them, a great battle for 3rd between Short, who would then eventually come under fire from Brock Tickle, who, as usual, was making tracks after a less than stellar start. And Tickle kept closing in. These guys would be battling for an overall position as well, considering some of the inconsistency on the day for others. Here is Tickle trying to make the move, but Short said, nah, not going to happen that quickly. Dungey built up a small lead over Alessi, but Alessi would close it back down at the end. Look how close it was with the checkered flag. We'll keep this one running and fast forward. Why? Well, it's a moment we want to record in real time because Dungey not only has the win, but that's enough points to clinch the championship, one that many people doubted he and Red Bull KTM could get when they signed him 1 year ago. Big day for the Orange folks, and let's send it down to one of their top riders. Joined by one of the nicest guys in this series, Marvin Musquin, and now we get to say a race winner also. That has got to feel good.
Yeah, it's an awesome day, especially because it's my first win in the US, but also Ryan got the championship. Kenny first moto, he got the first moto win for KTM, and me the overall at the end of the day. So it's great. I got the fast lap times in the practice, but no moto win, but the overall win is good.
Well, what's funny is it's like we don't think this means a lot to you guys, but you said in the second moto you thought you had a shot at the overall, and it did kind of get to you a little bit.
Oh yeah, I know. I was too much thinking about that, and I knew it was Tomac and Barsha in front of me, and Kenny was behind, and Baguette too, and I was like, oh, I'm probably like winning the overall today, so I was too much thinking about that, and I was riding kind of tight. And I think I lost like 10 seconds on the last 2 laps, and Bogle was behind me, and there was no way he could pass me. And but yeah, I wasn't sure that I got the overall. So when I saw Mathilde, my wife, she showed me #1 like that. So I was like, oh, I dropped my bike on the ground. I mean, like hugging everybody. It's a great feeling, and especially because I'm 2-time world champion in Europe. I used to win races, but here it's I guess, I mean, it's America, and then the competition is really good right now, and it's riding fast. I mean, for 30 minutes, and we are trying our best, and then working really hard during the week with Frankie, my mechanic, Mathilde, my wife, and I've been unlucky, like finished 2nd and 5th or 4th overall, and like 4 or 5 times 4th overall, and never on the podiums. You know, it's a great feeling to be on the podium, and I was waiting for that, and it's not even 3rd, not even 2nd, it's 1st today, so it's crazy. I did two good motos, and it's good.
That's what did it. And they say Unadilla is good for the European riders. You like this track?
That's exactly what I was thinking first moto, because Raxon was leading the moto and I was 2nd. I was like, yeah, I heard it's good for Europeans. So Kenny got third overall, so I took KTM on the podium today. It's awesome with Ryan champion. It's really good. I'm thinking about Pete Byrer and everybody in Austria and all my friends too, and everybody's getting crazy texting, and it's a great feeling.
All right, well, congratulations, Stu. Probably the best day ever. I don't think you can argue that for KTM here in U.S. Motocross. We'll catch you in 2 weeks from Steel City here on the Racer X Motocross Show. Thanks for watching.